Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show. What it do, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review, another RAERAE Night Live. Yes. Me and my homegirl Erin are going to talk about Southern Charm. Season 11, episode 14. She's going to come in a little later, and I will definitely give her the introduction she deserves. So for right now, it's just me. I hope you're having a good night. Happy Friday to everybody. We are celebrating Women's Month. This is Women's Month, March of every year, moving forward in life. How long have we been doing Women's Month? Y'all know? I don't. However long it's been, ain't been long enough. We birthed the nation. We rule and we rule the world. I don't care what these men say. I don't care what's going on. It is what it is, and you can't do nothing about it. So I want to let y'all know that we have a double decker tonight. Yes, another back-to-back. After tonight's show, starting at 8:30, we will be discussing these rich heifers of Beverly Hills. Child, I'm so sick of Kyle. I can't wait to talk about this with Erin. I swear. Kyle, girl, you just prove every episode that you still dipping and dabbing, not discussing your issues with your husband. You're not discussing your issues. You rather discuss Dorit's issues. And how dare you discuss her issues with the ops? Dorit's ops. We're going to get into it. Just be sure you tune in 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, specifically. Just let y'all know. And then tomorrow, see, we got the nights on lock, y'all. We got the nights on lock. Tomorrow night, we're going to have a late night, y'all, because we're going to talk. RuPaul's Drag Race, celebrating women, yes. Excuse me, the drag queens of all drag queens. RuPaul's Drag Race, season 18, episode 10, at 10. Don't forget tomorrow night, Saturday, March 7th, episode 10 at 10. There you go. So let's get back to this show we are discussing tonight. Child, Craig, you showing your ASS, ain't you? Let me tell y'all something. Mr. Craig and them, okay, as we call him, Craig and them. The night before, he goes off on Vanita, right? The episode before, because she was, subliminally, tagging him when Shep, my man, started this horrible game so people can tell each other about themselves. When is that ever cool? Anybody, let me know if I got this all effed up. But my man, Shep, child, you, just like you said in your confessional, you messed up. When is it ever cool for quote unquote friends to tell each other about themselves during the camera time of all time? Not in the privacy of, not off camera, but you want to play this childish, dumb, what time is it? Can't cuss yet. Got about 4 minutes and a half. So, we can't cuss until after 10 minutes. Because then, I'm not monetized yet. but I'm still paying attention to the rules and guidelines. You know what I'm saying? So listen, Craig goes off on Benita. The only person really to say something to him at the time was Sally, surprisingly, because Sally been, making mountains out of molehills, trying to keep herself relevant on this show. No shade. I get it. You want to keep going on the show. But we want to have some real life manufactured situations anyway. So yeah, Sally was the only one to really check him in the moment. After he got up and left, I think Austin and him went to go get a drink or whoever. And then Whitner was over there instigating, pumping Craig up. And we know it don't take much when Craig is drinking, just FYI. So after they got up and left, Benita went over, sat there to her friends and said she felt like she wasn't really supported. But this go round on this episode, they immediately jump to and let Craig know that is not cool when he's going off on Sally. I was shocked to see the difference now. Of course, he was, meaning Craig, a lot more, what's that word, belligerent towards Sally, yet and still, it's still the same. And I think that Vanita should have, all the women should get that treatment. But since we're talking about these two and these specific circumstances, Vanita should have gotten the same treatment that Sally got. The guy should have said, Craig, you're not being a gentleman. It's a way to deliver a message. All the things that they did for Sally that they didn't do for Vanita. And I think that's wrong. Should no man go off on a woman like that, especially how lighthearted it was for both Vanita and Sally to say something towards Craig. It wasn't harsh, it wasn't mean. But again, when he's, on that sauce, he want to feel like he got some liquid courage. That's what it was for him. I never thought he would, stoop so low. I was, disappointed. And so was Charlie Child. When is Charlie gonna say something in the moment? Usually when you're connecting romantically with someone, you would want to tell them about themselves. But she seems to be the type that doesn't want to have confrontation. Even she waits until, way after the fact. No, Heffa, at the time, is if they show out, that's when you jump in and handle situations. I'm not saying that Charlie would have, reeled him in. But, I can honestly say when somebody is riled up, there's significant other, no matter the degree of significant, would, have a little, way with them at that moment. I would have liked to see her try so she can save her friend. But I guess Charlie ain't that type of woman. He was all gung-ho on Sally because she was, Craig is sick and tired of Sally. That's what it was. Because all Sally did in the van to this particular blow up that he did on her, all he did was, no, all she did was really compliment his hair. Oh, I like your hair. Some compliment. It wasn't even all that to even say it verbatim. But what I will say is Craig had no business talking to Sally like that, just like he had no business talking to Vanita like that. It was both harsh. He was more belligerent because they've been, he dang near bought the bar. And, it was just really uncalled for. Telling her to STFU. What time is it? Yeah, told her to shut the fuck. I can kiss now. Told her to shut the fuck up. He went ham. He's taunting her. And at the same time, everybody but Charlie and the driver is telling him to stop. It ain't cool. What are you doing? Stop talking to her like that. You're wrong. Again, nothing like what Vanita got. But yet and still, at least they stood up, and in this moment, and all you saw in the background was Charlie holding her mouth, eyes wide open, and just, like, I can't believe, and girl, Charlie, I can tell right now, excuse me, don't put me in a situation with Charlie to where we got to figure out something or we got to think on our feet because she ain't going to make it. She the first one, look, she the first one dead in these scary movies. I'm just saying because, child, listen, if y'all saw if you didn't see it, go ahead and watch the episode. You'll be like, what? Craig was way too ridiculous for me. I mean, I'm just saying that was just really uncalled for. What else happened on that thing, child? Yeah, it was just trifling. They were discussing his repulsive behavior afterwards when he was out of their purview. I just thought it was trifling. Anyway, so the next day, this was just so disgusting. They're getting ready for the day. Why is Whitner on the balcony with all this beautiful, brush and things, and he brushing his teeth, spitting that mess into the bushes on the top in the penthouse balcony? Do you really think nasty toothpaste out of somebody's mouth would help those beautiful flowers grow? I don't think so. And so, y'all, we are going to welcome, please help me welcome Aaron to the stage. Yes.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I had a last minute, weird technical thing. I'm here.
Don't even worry about it. You know what happened to me last week. Girl, if I get up one more again. It is we got to do what we got to do. The show must go on. And it did, and it is. How you doing, friend?
I'm all right now. It's all fixed. I'm here and ready to talk about this. Where we at? Catch me up.
Okay, so I gave them some info on our back-to-back for the night. They know about Rich Heifers of Beverly Hills coming up at 8:30. And also they know about we're definitely celebrating Women's Month, and what greater way to celebrate is with RuPaul's Drag Race, another night, episode 10 at 10 tomorrow. Yes, ma'am. And I started in on the first scene where Craig went off on Sally. So I just finished it. So go ahead and give us all what you got about that scene.
Well, obviously, Craig, this is why he stopped drinking with Paige. This is obviously what her problem with him was, what his problem should be with himself, But the one part that I found a little odd about it was that, Sally, you kept saying, I didn't even do anything. Yes, you have. You have. You've been running your mouth. You've been trying to dissuade Charlie from being with him. And Craig knows that. And they're like hiding their relationship because of how you react. So I don't agree with Craig's behavior. I think Craig is going to have to get to a place where he stops drinking like this on his own before he's really going to attract the kind of partner that he wants, instead of doing it for somebody else. But I was a little bit shocked that, Sally felt like such a victim. You've been egging him on to be mad at you.
I agree with everything you said.
You know what I mean? You caught it, Heifer. I'm not saying a man should ever make a woman feel unsafe. I'm against that. But you're actively trying to sabotage Craig's dating life because he didn't want you. And you're making out with Austin, but you're still talking about what a bad guy Craig now is because he didn't want you. So don't act like Craigie doesn't have any legs to stand on.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. I mean, like you said, at the same time, it ain't cool for him to blow up like that. It's the way to say
mm-mm.
things, just like with
Mm-hmm.
Benita. There's a way to say things, but to say hurtful things. And this group is all about etiquette, I thought. How about you continue that and just read a heifer without having to be belligerent about it? You know what
Well,
I'm
I
saying?
Yeah, I mean, we know Shep has been belligerent. That's why he went down to Costa Rica and licked some toads. I'm just joking. He did ayahuasca. That's not the same thing. But we haven't really heard about Austin being. I mean, he's just a cheater and a lech. That's what or
Ain't
we know what I
nobody
mean.
else
Like,
doing this. Shoot.
what?
Ain't nobody else doing this but Craig, really.
Well, right now, this season, yes, this season for sure. Craig, like I said before, this is Craig's own kind of inner demons that he's gonna need to work on for himself. I do kind of respect the fact that Craig is getting out of a breakup. A lot of us kind of don't have our footing and do unhealthy things to cope and kind of,
Mhm.
do all of these things. I think what this season is showing me as we come to a close. Can you believe the season finale is next week?
Next week,
Next week. It flew by with this show.
didn't it?
It did. It just makes me feel like, and I don't think that's gonna happen because Craig's not very good at self-reflection sometimes. Um, I would hope that Craig would maybe look back at this season and like think to himself, I gotta make some self improvements for my own life, you know, um, for my own benefit, because nobody wants him drinking to the point where he can't control the level of ferocity that he's speaking to another person, you know. But at the same time, Sally, if you don't want to get yelled at, you could just stay out of it because you've been all up in it all season. And if Craig still liked you, you'd be totally fine with this. You'd be making excuses for this behavior.
And also, all she did was give him a compliment, and he went off because he has all this stuff that he wants to let off
Mm-hmm.
about her, and he just heard from Charlie that she had to check or set Sally straight about keeping things from her because it's really none of her business. So he was just waiting, and
Yeah.
with that liquid courage that really
Yep.
got him in a really bad place because ain't nobody really trying to
Totally.
with him but the fellas, to be honest.
Yes, I agree. And obviously, like we keep saying, nobody likes this Craig. This Craig is irrational, but there was a lot under there because Sally, you trying to play both sides. And if I found out someone that I thought I was friends with was trying to get in between me and a dude I liked, I'd be just as mad at you.
Mm.
I mean, I would be just as mad at you because you don't get to do that. Now, granted, I understand you felt away because Craig made you feel away and you felt a little led on, and you probably were, but you are slurping and whatever else with Austin now. So you don't need to sabotage anybody. You don't. You could stay out of everybody's happy business, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the little like, oh my god, he was so mean and I didn't do anything. Yes, you did. You did. You had this kind of coming. You didn't have it coming maybe in this delivery, but you had a chew out coming.
And then after they all got off their respective sprinters, she lied and didn't say what she said. She just said he just started going off. No, 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 no.
Yeah.
Say what you said. It was a compliment talking about his hair looks whatever, and then he just replied with some vicious, despicable things to say. Tell the story like it should be told. Don't just and continue with how you described it, but just say I just gave him a compliment. Next thing you know, he blowing up.
No, you egged him on. You told him, you always have to be right. And you can't ever blah, blah, blah. You were in it too. You
Did
know.
she? No. At the beginning, she complimented his hair the way it was.
Yes.
Oh, your hair, and then he just said something vicious. I forgot what it was.
Right.
And
No,
then
but
that's when they were going back and forth.
yes, no, that's what I mean. I didn't do anything. No, you stayed in it
Oh
with
yeah,
him.
yeah.
You stayed in it with him. You got into it with him. If you had, but here's the thing. She didn't do anything in that moment, but she has been talking shit ever since uh things changed up in the like meter game, And unless production is completely making us feel like crazy people, you have said plenty about him, and you are literally actively trying to dissuade Charlie to stay away from him. So you think he wouldn't be mad at you? And every time you guys agree to stop, you do it again. You never stop. You don't clean slate it with him. And so you got angry Craig. You got Craigie, or whatever the hell name they call his little alter ego. You got caught, And I mean, like I said, I don't agree with Craig. Nobody likes this version of Craig.
Nobody.
And he doesn't even remember everything. So, this isn't a cute look. But Sally, don't act like you were just pounced upon for living.
You know who else is mad at her?
Who?
Hello? Them 3 chickens she abandoned.
Oh.
Them 3 baby chicks. They ain't did nothing to nobody, but just was available to get chose. And because he didn't chose her, she chose to throw them chickens back to the vet people. Child, you ain't sugar honey iced tea for that.
Yep. Ditch the chickens, trying to go after Craig.
Projection at its finest.
Yep.
Heifer. Ugh. And you better eat something because you looking like you looking.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but these girls trying to look like they 12 years old and the body is not the thing to do.
Well, I don't remember where I saw this headline, but it caught me. There said Hollywood needs to stop abusing Ozempic or GLP-1s, and it's true because, we are in an era where those that have the privilege to get these medications can have disordered eating, can take things too far.
Mm-hmm.
And the new elite standard is unhealthy. It's legitimately alarming, the level to which you can take off that extra 10 pounds that is nearly impossible for you to lose without assistance. So that we're looking at people turn into skeletons. And, having been on my own weight loss journey, and all of us looking for a place where we literally stop obsessing over women's size, right? This isn't helping. So I feel like being silent on that is not helping either. We got to call it out. There is absolutely a trend for people in entertainment to take it too far.
Child, just looking at these ladies,
Yep. Yeah.
You ain't hating. It's just the girl, Kelly Osbourne.
Oh, thank you.
Help, mama. I don't want to make it about that, but it's just, it's just out there. And like you said, the abuse on these weight loss efforts really needs to be checked. And it's always a doctor somewhere willing to get some reimbursement on a pharmaceutical, no matter what pharmaceutical it is.
Absolutely. I worked in the med spa industry for a year, and I can about a year, and I can attest that it's.
So if they wouldn't prescribe it, then the so and so wouldn't take it. Hello.
Yeah. Yep. So anyway. Yes, but no, she absolutely is was noticeably, yeah.
And she was fine the year before. Like, girl, what?
I know. We don't need to take it this far.
6 to a 0? What?
Yeah.
Anyway, the next day, I went in to say how nasty Whitner was. Now, of course, it's the next day. They getting up for the day. Why is he on the penthouse balcony spitting out toothpaste and carrying on into the pretty bushes? If that is not just some disrespectful, nasty, are we about to see just how ridiculous this man is? Because I wish my man would do
Well,
some.
I mean, we were saying he's getting the good at it. No, that's what
Girl.
Sally talked about on her interview, with the not skinny, not fat interview she did, where she said he's just gotten the good newcomer at it. Trust me, he's just as, much of a problem as the other, the veterans.
Well, I mean, he was instigating Craig into something with Vanita. We saw him over there egging him on. But that's nasty. That ain't itchy grass.
I'm starting to notice that Whitner has a bit of a superiority complex in this situation. It's like he feels really comfortable, like, telling other people what he thinks, or like what he perceives to be the correct situation and how people should act or whatever. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like,
mm.
I'm not saying I'm totally soured on him, but I'm starting to see what shit he brings to the party. you know, he's a
Well, I
little
know for
too
a fact spitting toothpaste into them beautiful,
short-sighted.
beautiful flowers on a penthouse balcony ain't it. That was nasty. They shouldn't have showed us that. Yeah.
No, they
Anyway.
shouldn't have. And also,
Mhm.
I was surprised for somebody that is so, I get up at 4 in the morning and I do all this exercise stuff, is such a wuss in the sweat lodge, but I digress. We'll get there.
So we see Shep trying to invite Craig to go fishing. He up. I hope he looking all wrinkled and carrying on. I mean, I know it's vacation, but dang. Anyway, see if I was there. I'm just saying.
I you know what,
Wrinkled
you're right.
from
If you
head
were
to
there,
toe.
he would. But I will say, go ahead. Sorry, I don't want to talk over you.
I'm not saying anything. I ain't said nothing.
Okay, okay, okay. No, no, no. I thought we were maybe breaking up there a little bit or something.
We were. I was
He
just
doesn't look
I was silent.
hungover. Okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He doesn't look hungover. He looks like he's like ready to, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't look like he did, like he slept on a chair by the pool after talking about somebody's freckled little lips.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see Shep, not looking like he did last season.
Yeah, he was bright eyed and bushy tail, inviting everybody to go fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Craig wouldn't answer the door. Craig wouldn't even let production in until he was ready to go for the afternoon. So, he was in, you can tell he was in his room sulking and going over things and just feeling like he didn't want to be bothered by nobody. He didn't want to have to answer like he did, to Shep. He was just locked in his room like a big old baby.
Or sleeping off a hangover, a massive hangover.
All that. He didn't want to be, but he
Yeah.
didn't want us to see it. He didn't want to let
Yeah.
production in. So it's like why he locked the door.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so then Shep ended up talking to Austin. He go all in his bed, humping him like like if you don't get off that man, he ain't brushed not near tooth, watched not near skin cell on his face and neck and ears. And girl, listen, anyway, um, who you like, whatever, Humpty. Anyway, so Shep says he doesn't want Craig to feel like a pariah. He'd rather coddle him. I'm like, see, this is the problem right here. He is the poster child, seem like right here, for what is wrong in this country. You are supposed to hold your friends accountable, but you rather not. You rather let the ish go on and not tell him about himself. You rather not get him all riled up, or just he doesn't want to hold Craig accountable. And that's just some piss poor friendship, if you ask me.
Well, I think he doesn't want to be a raging hypocrite because he is just as capable of some of the Craig stuff as Craig is. Like Shep has part of, so I do I think that he's being super easy on Craig, like I don't want him to be the pariah, yes, but I also understand why Shep is like, I'm gonna let him be a bit of a mess because I was a mess last season. Uh, you know, he's just and he would be a hypocrite if he tried to talk to Craig, and you know he'd have to be careful about it because he has absolutely had a similar situation to Craig.
Austin was like, this is just ridiculous.
Yeah, well, Austin is still, he still hates Craig.
Mhm. But still hold your friend accountable. Just because Shep did something before, don't mean he can't tell the truth now about what's going on.
No, but Shep is also a functional alcoholic. I mean, he barely made it through. He was blacked out at BravoCon. He caused the scene when
Yeah,
he
but
was
that
in
was
Nashville.
then. That
No,
was
but so what? Like, I'm sorry, if you literally
then.
called random people troglodytes and then you try to come and lecture me about my drinking, I would tell you to go tell. I would tell you about yourself.
I don't know. I guess we got to agree to disagree on this because Craig, get your ish together. I'm gonna
Well, I
tell you,
mean,
I don't know you. Get your ish together.
I respect your point. Like what you're saying is like, you can still tell your friend like, "Whoa, buddy, are you all right?" I mean, like, you can do it in a kind way or any of that stuff. Because like you were really on one last night. I don't know if you realize, but I'm just saying I just think Shep is, well, first of all, Shep always wants it to be nice between everybody no matter what anyway after shit
Mm-hmm.
goes down. We know this. Shep likes
Mm-hmm.
it nice. And sometimes that's the best way to go about it, and sometimes it's unhealthy, you know?
Child.
Um, but I do feel like he does, like I said, they if he came down too hard on Craig, he would be a giant hypocrite. So, but he is being very easy on him. I agree, you know.
Speaking of being easy, we get to Sally.
Oh, oh my.
That's how she's been with Austin. But
Yes.
anywho, so we get to Sally. She's on her veranda, and she's calling Madison to check on everything with the baby, how everybody doing. Madison is so they showed little flicks of the baby, so cute, so tiny, and
Mhm.
she's just how else would she be? I mean, you know what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Excuse me. Then she couldn't wait to tell Madison that she said making out with with Austin daily. Well,
Which
that's
is so weird. Like Madison used to date Craig. It's just weird. I know she's married and whatever, but it's just weird.
girl, these people don't think like us. Hell,
I
it's
know.
weird for Madison and Austin to be hanging out.
True.
I wish I was, Brett. Girl, if you don't get away from them, I ain't gonna keep going there. I can keep going. But yeah, so Sally tells her, but every night they've been there for two. Okay. Then, of course, she tells Madison Craig went crazy. And Madison said, well, Craig needs to, feel like, or what she say? I forgot just that quick.
Uh
Madison.
she said tries to act like he's not like that, like he's a nice
There you go.
guy, and
Yeah.
then he like turns on a dime.
Yeah, because my notes got messed up right there. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
true.
girl.
He's had if he's doing shots and shit, yeah.
I'm like, girl. So then, Sally sent her some flowers. Madison thanked her for all of that. And then Charlie walks up and they're just kind of like, girl, how you doing? I'm fine. How you doing? Because of last night. And Charlie was just like, I can't believe him. This ain't gonna like this. Now, me and him was. Mm-mm. I don't like that. But
Well,
she don't tell him though. She just gonna wait, girl.
well, that's kind of the problem. Charlie is a uber non-confrontational person, and some of that needs to change if she wants to stay
Yeah,
on
that
this
is a problem.
if she wants to stay on this show, she's gonna need to get it together, because if you're gonna be on reality TV, you can't be doing that.
Definitely.
The
In
people
real life either. Shit.
No, but I mean, the people pleaser in you has got to evolve. A lot of us are raised that way. A lot of us are taught, and we do it, and we don't even realize all that crap. However,
I have a question on that.
yeah,
Is she a people pleaser or she evades conflict?
I think she's both.
Because I don't see her trying to please nothing. But okay.
Well, I mean, anyway, I don't want to split hairs on that one. Um,
Point
so
it out to me next time. I must have missed it.
all
But I
right,
agree with you though. I agree.
um, it makes what Craig did incredibly unattractive to her, right? Like
Okay.
it, because she's completely conflict avoidant. Him going off like that obviously is not her style and very unattractive and all of this stuff.
Okay.
I still don't think it's fair to not acknowledge the fact that, hello, you went and told him what Sally said. Like, you guys are acting like there's no issue for him to be upset, and I don't think that's fair. Um,
I
you
agree.
know, I just
Say what you did.
Right, like you're actively like trying to get in the middle, and all of this and whatever, and but I think what this illustrated is that this is a very unattractive look to Charlie. She doesn't like a
Mhm.
man that is this confrontational. Like I said, you're gonna have to adjust yourself to be on the show. But it's okay to also look at somebody acting like this and not find it attractive. You're not the first girl, nor the last. Like Paige
Okay.
absolutely ordered him to stop drinking or she would break up with him.
That
That's
part.
why so,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
he had other girlfriends had similar issues. So this is Craig kind of self-sabotaging, but I also think this proves that they're not necessarily the best fit either, because she's been too in between the two of them, and uh for her then to feel like he was totally in the wrong without acknowledging the fact that Sally is bad mouthing him all over the place isn't fair.
Mhm.
It's just
Mhm.
not. So, but you're right. Again, conflict avoidant Charlie isn't letting Craig know because she doesn't want to deal with him being upset. And if you think about it, what Sally was trying to do, she accomplished. She got them to stop dating.
Child. While she humping on somebody else. And that's the thing. You already humping on Austin. I wouldn't think twice. Well, Charlie thought so too, that humping on Austin and messing with him would keep her away from her and Craig. Boy, was she wrong. Sally is not your friend. She ain't no girl's friend. Her and Kyle need to do a podcast. Girl,
Yeah.
I don't know about her. We gonna get into them rich heifers. Wait, just wait. Anywho, are we done with Sally and Charlie?
I think so.
So Charlie leaves Sally and just mosey on over to do yoga with the girls, Molly and Vanita. And after that little stint of yoga, Charlie, tells him she's done with Craig. She said, "Nah, I'm cool with all that." After they ask her, "So, how you doing?" Everybody's like, "How you doing?" After all that commotion, and she just let him know, like she told Sally, "I'm not interested in him no more. I don't deal with men like that. I'm cool. Mm-mm. You
Yeah.
know, mm-mm.
I knew something happened. I knew that their stuff fizzled for sure.
For sheezy."
I
So
feel
after
like
all of that, oh,
Molly
go ahead.
Molly was kind of so Oh, I was just gonna say it's kind of funny. I didn't realize Molly was so anti, like, because there's a couple of scenes where she's like, "Well, if that doesn't sour her off of him, I don't know what will." But
Well, yeah, they were saying that about how he treated Vanita the day before when they were outside on the beach, after surfing, saying, "Yeah, this is not becoming." She was like, "I'm not his keeper, but at the same time, I'm just gonna be, take it slow and, you know, like I guess they were trying to get her to at least acknowledge or, how did you talk to him?" She's like, "No, I ain't his keeper." It was like, well, it is what it is. You
Yeah, I
can't tell
know. I
nobody
just
to do nothing in a so-called relationship from beginning to end. They're gonna do what they want in that situation. You what?
yeah, I
What's
I
going
feel
on
like the
with the
part that I find
reception?
annoying is what?
It's like something's going on with the reception. I wonder what
Yes,
must be these
that's what
winds
I
that's going on.
experienced too.
I think it's the winds outside. But go ahead, ma'am. Go ahead.
Sorry. No, I think so because we're like normally we can man it. We normally do pretty good unless,
Yeah.
we feel like we're talking over each other more than we usually do.
Maybe it's
Um
those Santa Anas.
the
Them Santa
only
Anas.
Santa Ana's, Mercury retrograde, all of it. No,
Oh,
the only thing is that they keep going, oh, look, this is an example of how unbecoming Craig is. But both Vanita and Sally, like, talked ish about him, like, and acted like they kind of had the right to do it. And I'm not defending Craig's delivery. I'm just saying, like, y'all act like you aren't talking about him. And like I said, Benita said Team Page right after they broke up, and he was devastated. That's not cute. That's not a nice thing to say. You're acting real glib. He didn't say Team whoever your boyfriend was that you had on that one season when he left you for Broadway, and then you admitted he cheated on you. Nobody's sitting there saying Team JT after that debacle. I'm just saying. So anyway,
yeah, y'all say what y'all did. Don't just say it's all on him. Now, y'all can say his delivery was messed up after I
yes,
said something to him. That would be a more appropriate way to converse, and recall. But yeah, of course, the blow up more so he's more culpable. But
yes. I
you
wish he had just
you
said
gotta
to
stop poking
Vanita,
the bear.
yeah, and I wish he had just said to Vanita, I don't appreciate what you said to me after my breakup. I don't, or about me. I don't appreciate the way you talked about my relationship. I wish he had said that. I wish he had called her out for what happened instead of like, you're dead to me. I don't care what you say. Like all this inflammatory shit. Call her out for what started all of this. You could even say, what you said at the time that you said it was so offensive to me that I don't like you anymore. That's fine, right? But like, get it together. Like, get a point across that's good. And and the same thing goes for Sally. Like you could have easily said, Sally, every time we come to an agreement, we won't talk about it. I know you're going to talk to Charlie and trying to dissuade her from seeing me, and I hate it, you know? But he just can't execute like that.
That's an excellent point. He's just emotional
Yes.
while he should be explaining to them why he's going off. See,
Yes.
if you would stop doing this, then I wouldn't be compelled or, I wouldn't be
Mhm.
talking to you like so and so because, it is, but like you said, say what the issue is
Yes.
and why instead of just going off like you don't have no home training.
Yeah, that's the alcohol part.
Hello.
That's the problem, Craig. That's the problem.
Well, we're off to a little better situation. Little fishing, just a little fishing. Shep and Whitney are the only two mofos going fishing because everybody else is like, nah, I'm gonna go
Yeah.
drink and get in the pool.
Yes.
So, so Shep and Whitner are fishing. They're having a good time, and them fish show was shiny, wasn't they? Like they had on
Yes.
armor all or something.
I know.
They are a pretty fish. And they about to get cooked because they didn't throw them back. So, it is what it is. Circle of Life, Circle of Life. Don't nobody call nobody's organization. It is what it is. And Shep and Wit talk about Craig, and this is where we learn why the method to Shep's madness. He was kicked out of high school, and his mama came to pack him up, and this is what he said. His mama said, "I'm not gonna even, talk to you about this. I know you feel bad enough already." See, again, it starts in the home. Starts, and I say that about everything, not just him and this, but it starts in the home. You mean tell me your big grown high school kid gets kicked out of boarding school, mind you, boarding school. You got to come all the way 11 hours, however long it was, 11 miles to come get him, and you packing him up, and you ain't reading him for girl. Do you know? I'm saying it got to get violent, but do you know how hostile that conversation would have been if child kicked out? That means you gotten already into enough trouble before. This was
Well,
not the first offense. So that's why he's trying to soothe Craig's ego and hold his hand and want to hug him and treat him to a nice time because of the unraising he got as a heathen. Go ahead,
well,
girl.
I think it's obvious that that's the way he was parented, right? By the life he's living. He is spoiled, perpetual bachelor, you know.
Petulance. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Petulance. Let me look that word up, make sure I know what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
No, I just thought it was, didn't surprise me. Like Shep obviously had a lot of positive affirmation in his home because he does think highly of himself. It's not that he can't be self-reflective. In fact, I think in many ways he can be more reflective than the other guys, but he's also he's delusional, and this example is why, part of why. An example of why.
Okay, Craig is the petulant one, little, childish and sulky. But
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Trifling
Yes.
little something. Whew. But at least the fish looked cute. Took some nice pictures. And he was just on it with the fish. Oh,
I
gotta go.
was
Oh,
gonna say,
yeah, yeah. All right. I'm glad you have fun. Mm-hmm.
well, I was thinking, were you thinking my man, my man, my man when you saw him jump on it like an expert? I mean,
I was thinking, yeah, go ahead. He's
right?
in his element. I love it
Mm-hmm.
when any of them are in their element. Like when we saw Vanita and Rodrigo shopping and doing
Right.
some decor, or anybody doing their thing. Because you see their brains moving. Like when we see Craig, like 2 or 3 seasons ago, when he was in his element with his business. We see him holding meetings. We see him, doing some crafting. I like to see that, when they're doing their things. So,
Yes.
I wonder how that fish tastes. What they do to it. Anywho, what else happened? Oh, so now we see Austin and Sally. They come in right after each other, like we didn't know that they was doing it. Whatever. We know y'all was doing it before you got to the water. That's why you went to the water to rinse off. Don't even go there. Anyway, so Austin gets to the swim up bar first. And then Sally conveniently comes right after. And then Rodrigo pops in. We know Rodrigo wasn't a part of that. He was talking to his man or whoever, whatever he was doing. So it's about 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon by the time they all meet up. And Sally jokes that they're on a date. I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. Um, of course, she brings up Craig. Why does she keep bringing this man up? She want to talk about him no matter what. Girl, I wish I would bring up a man who drugged me for filth and called me everything but a child of God.
And you wonder why he yelled at you.
Girl.
I'm just saying, I'm not agreeing with the way he yelled at you, but you are on this man's jock.
Ain't she?
You are butthurt about the way he embarrassed you.
I bet you if he just grabbed her and kissed her, she would go for it.
I feel like she has flung on to Austin now. I
Girl, that don't
do.
mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. Austin gonna hit it after that anyway.
Oh yuck.
You
I
know how they
know.
do. You know how they
Yes,
do.
I do.
I'm just I have lived and seen a whole lot in my travels. And I know for a fact a girl like that, now I wouldn't say a threesome, but I know she would hit if Craig let her know it's on and popping. You know,
Uh
anyway.
I just think that this is a prime example of if Craig watches the show, he will be validated for being mad at you.
Yeah.
Again, I don't
Mhm.
agree with why, but like you are showing in scene after scene why he was pissed in the first place.
Now, didn't I hear Craig say, "Keep my name out your mouth," like Nene?
Yeah, I mean,
And she keep it again. She keep putting them in her mouth. That's all we know about this woman.
yeah.
Girl, you got so much going on for yourself. You girl, if you don't stop, uh then she tells them what Charlie said. Cause you know Austin can't hold water. Both of them be just talking to and saying stuff they ain't supposed to be saying to people they ain't supposed to say it to. You know Austin is gonna tell Craig. You know it. Child, I don't know why. Again, why does Sally just ain't really a friend to no female on this show? The only reason why her and Madison get along because Brett ain't around.
Yeah, although we also know, as we'll talk about coming up here,
Mhm.
sometimes people get designated the bone carrier of the season. Do you know what I mean? And so she does seem naturally apt to be one, but I think there is also a certain level of gossip that continues because they're doing a show.
Well, speaking of Whitney, he had some lunch, some non-alcoholic drinks waiting for Craig to
Yes.
meet him for lunch. I know that's right. Yeah, I ordered you some a Diet Coke and some water. Hello. And he had it all ready, so he ain't got to order nothing. All the everything, all your beverages is right here. I'm surprised that Whitney did that, but I like it. I like it. That's the one
I
thing.
like seeing Whitney a little less drunk and doddering. Yes, this
Yeah,
Whitney
yeah.
must have heard us from last season
Hey,
and
Whitney.
decided to make an acceptable appearance because I'm actually enjoying him this season and his more sage-like behavior versus that drunk stumbling fool. You don't need another cupcake shit.
Or maybe Miss Patricia. Hey, Miss Patricia. Or or Randy. Somebody over there listen, watching, listen. Hey, sorry for y'all's loss.
Mm-hmm.
Uh yeah, so Craig acting like nothing is wrong.
He don't
Craig,
remember.
what's going
He
on?
doesn't because he was damn near blacked out. He doesn't remember.
Girl, he remember. He said he was perfectly imperfect. He remember.
Ugh.
He may not have been blackout that night, but I think he remembers. Talking about he doesn't like being agitated and the odds are in his favor based off of what he's done in the past. How dare you, you arrogant SOB. How dare you say something like that, disrespecting these two women on this trip when they don't even deserve to be talked to like that? When you can't express yourself, you want to act petulant. Petulance Conover, whatever his last name is. Stop that. You are too old to not accept accountability for talking to women like that, especially when they didn't give you that same. Now I can see if they were just, berating him and being belligerent, then that's just two belligerent fools going back and forth. but they didn't. It was not a fair argument slash fight, verbal fight. You did far worse to them than they did to you. You wanted to prove a point. You wanted to express yourself, but you didn't know how to. So you behaved badly like little kids do. Don't do that, Craig. Don't act like you didn't do nothing wrong and you don't think anybody deserves an apology. Boy, please. Mm-mm. You have anything to say about that?
I mean, he obviously has a problem accepting accountability. When he, and I think right now, no, I mean, there was some delusion in there. He thinks that he's justified at being mad at them, and he is. Both of them are talking about him behind his back, and then they got yelled at, they got confronted, right? So, but I, I've said this, you always have to look where and ask yourself, where do I contribute? Where am I the a-hole? Where's there the part that I can apologize? You always have to, because nobody's ever fully right. It's just the way that it is. And so, this is part of where Craig gets delusional, right? He called Miss Patricia a bitch. I wasn't that bad. You know what I mean? Craig lives in this world where, and obvious, and I do think I think Craig is struggling with the fact that drinking is not working again. I don't think he quite wants to face that one. I hope that he does by the time we get to the reunion, but so yeah, like this is kind of Craig's MO. I feel like I said, I will stand by over and over. Both of them are coming at him, and then they don't like what they got. And if it were me, I would have yelled right back at him. I wouldn't have been. We probably would have gotten in a fist fight. Like especially if I were as drunk as him. So it's really funny that both of them kind of melted. I would have yelled right back. I would have been like, "Oh, you want to get heated?" But yeah, hey, Craig, you gotta evolve, baby boy. You get a season to be a mess because you got dumped, but you got to get it together.
Now, so everybody getting ready to go get healed.
Right.
So many scars, Lord Jesus, Father God, help these people. Yeah, so Charlie says she avoiding Craig. They all meeting down to the vestibule, getting ready to go. Who folks don't want to ride with other folks. They, checking to see which sprinter to get on. I don't want to go over there, child. Let's come over here.
Yeah, for now.
So again, Charlie's avoiding Craig, hoping he will pick up on her vibe instead of her talking to him. Girl.
Again, you gotta get it together, Charlie.
I know it's a show. But that right there is chapping my hide with this woman. Woman, if you don't speak your voice, don't let nothing go wrong with her. Anyway, so they have pretty much a good time on the way. People is remembering last night and just hoping nothing goes wrong where they going, since they all supposed to be getting healed. And just a preview. It would nothing, no arguments, just a lot of things going on. So here the things is, they arrive. Actually, do you have anything to say about their trip, about their ride to the place?
No, I'm good.
So they arrived to the healing place. I forgot what they call it. That's what I call it, the healing place. Was there a specific name for it that I may have missed?
I don't remember, and I feel bad because it looked really cool. I wouldn't mind going and checking it out myself, but anyway.
So, so they branched off again into not teams, but if you want to get some massage therapy, go over there. If you want to get some heating therapy, you come this way. And they all brought change of clothes, because after they split up, they're all going to come back together later for a group exercise. So if you ever went to, no, I want to do the massage. I don't like heat. I'm good. I just want, deep tissue, please. Ooh, I can't stand deep tissue. Oh my God. Oh, I'm too delicate for deep tissue. Do you like massages?
I
Do you do
do,
the
I do, but I would have done this. What?
do you do the deep tissue or no?
I mean, I like them to work the knots out, but I don't want to be beat up.
Bruised
So,
up
but
when
I
you
would have done, yeah, I would have done the sweat lodge because they suck, but they're like an incredibly cleansing kind of experience.
Mhm.
Like I would have done it.
Well, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about me. I'm gonna let you in a little bit, y'all. When I am in a hot room, I can get a migraine. And unless I purposely brought me some migraine medicine that I'm not gonna tell you what it is, that it ain't illegal. Don't worry about it. I'm good, y'all. I'm good. Unless I took that, I couldn't go. Or I would try it and see. But once it starts to
Hmm.
come on, it's gonna come unless the medication is in my system.
Right.
So I would have tried it only if I had the meds. If I forgot them, I would be over there telling them no deep tissue will hook me up. I probably would have stood
That's
outside and
fair.
got some
That's
heat.
hey.
Yeah, see what it feel like, but not for over an hour. I can't be hot
Yeah.
boxing for over an hour. I'm sorry. That's just I know for a fact
Yeah.
I couldn't
Yeah.
last no
It is hands down, like anyone that has done a sweat lodge, this is a very native practice. A lot of, indigenous folks in the
Mhm,
US do this as well, different tribes or whatever. Like
mhm,
anyone will tell you this is a very intense experience. It's also a really deep detox. You sweat like crazy. I've had a very similar experience where I had like some deep massage and then I did like a steam sweat like situation where I was like
mhm.
tinted to get the body to sweat. And it was incredibly, like, I could feel the detox kind of release a lot of yeah, a lot of things. So, good for them for the ones that really went through it. I could feel their journey.
Now, the one thing I did not see was them drink a lot of water before. I didn't see them hydrating. So I was thinking,
Yeah.
because when I attempted the sauna a few times down to the spa I like to go to in the summer,
Hmm.
I know I have to drink at least 2 containers of water because I've been in a sauna before and girl, I don't know if it felt like what the spa got, I know I couldn't do it. Girl, I went in there for maybe 10 seconds and left. I said, oh my God. So I
I
don't
didn't
know
really see that
the
either, but I
the
feel like,
steam. Uh-huh. Go ahead. Go ahead.
oh, we had a little bit of a delay again. I kind of even heard it. I was
Yeah,
just gonna
yeah,
say,
I'm
I
hearing
don't,
it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I, I don't remember them doing anything about, like, I kind of remember noticing that about the water too, but then I just kind of remind myself that sometimes, they just don't like show us some of the littler details. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
Where it's like, oh,
We'll talk about little details. Craig was the first one out of the hot cave situation. He
yep.
couldn't last. So, come on, sir. Now I can see if you drunk and carrying on, I can see you leaving. I'm just gonna say, was he tipsy or? But if he wasn't, he couldn't take it. He couldn't last, and that's a sign. Just saying, you the main one need to
I
be in there with all your foolishness.
if I also think if I were very hungover, there's no way I could have done this either.
Mhm,
So I will say that I would not have been
mhm.
in the right shape. So maybe that was
Okay,
it because we all know he was toasted the night before.
girl. To the ooh.
Yeah.
Then Austin said that everybody came out and everybody's appreciative of it. They feel Shep was just so proud that he brought his friends to the hot cave and is that the ayahuasca or is it something else?
This is different. This is just the sweat. And then
Okay,
they did a
because I
cacao
keep calling it a hot
ceremony and
cave.
all that. Yeah, yeah. At Lodge, yes. It's the right name to a hot cave. Kind of that's what it was.
Okay. Um, so Austin, he says he felt like everybody who stayed in the cave was connected. There was a feeling of that came over them, and other people like, yeah, I feel like crying, or I feel good in this way, and then I feel good in that way. So, I would have hoped Craig could have stayed, but later on we see some connections when they after all of that was done, of course they all came together and they were, let me get this right, what she said, they it's a sacred circle to connect in deeper ways with others. That was the point of
Hmm.
them uh having their final moments with the healing down to the healing place. So, you have anything to say so far?
Nope, you got it.
Okay, where I stop. So Whitney, all he was like, "Oh no, I'm cool. I don't want, because after they started, the rain came, and people start feeling like the gods are speaking, because it was started to get kind of
Yeah.
emotional, and so they all kind of went inside, moved all of the instruments and sound bowls and everything inside, and they all sat, and that's when they started to that's when the preaching started, and there's no disrespect, but that's what her role was, to guide and teach what this whole situation was about. So she was preaching to them and how they can relate to each other moving forward. Like I said, it was a sacred circle to connect in deeper ways with each other, with others. And after they listened, they got up, walked around with their eyes closed, and they ended up with whomever they ended up with. Again, Whitney didn't want to participate. He stood off to the side. I guess it's against his morals compass or whatever. He just didn't want to participate. And then guess who ended up holding hands? They ended up holding hands. Vanita ended up holding hands with Craig. Then Austin ended up holding hands with Craig. Hello. And then Vanita ended up holding hands with Sally. Ain't that nothing? Hmm.
Hmm.
So I hope it wasn't, done, I hope it wasn't any performative measure for that, because everything so far seems to be happening the way it should. People feeling, overwhelmed. No, the healing has started as we're hearing their reactions to what's happening to them while they're down to the healing place. But one thing Craig said, he felt good holding hands with Austin. He's, made him remember the good times, yeah, because he's always, I would say this season, I've noticed Craig wanting Austin to chill and be his friend. It's more of Austin is like, has his hands up this season, so, but, Craig is, feeling a little better. Then Shep and Craig ended up holding hands, then hugging. That's what Shep wanted. He wanted to hug Craig since they got up in the morning after all that fiasco the night before. Yeah.
Hmm.
What did I say? Oh, then Charlie said she would rather Craig atone. These are my excuse me, these are my words that she said. She wants Craig to atone without telling him to do so.
Yes.
Girl, what you gotta say?
Obviously, that I mean, I guess if you're looking for some kind of moral compass, like you think that if he does do it on his own, that will change how you feel about him. Um, you are mistaken. Like you
Okay.
need to be on this show longer. You need to see how this works.
Mm.
And I would also suggest, just in general, if you really want someone to do something or you want to see if they're willing to do it, you should tell them. I think, if you're making out with Craig and you're dating him, the least you could do is say, I really didn't like your behavior last night. It was really, really sucky. Are you planning on apologizing to Vanita and Sally for how you spoke to them? Grown people conversation. And if
Yes,
he said, hell no, you will know.
child. Maybe Whitney should be there since he seems to want to, be the even when he was trying to get when he got that party for Austin's birthday, he seemed to want to be the peacemaker, the mediator. Maybe he should be there with her so she don't feel so alone. Maybe that'll help. That would have been a cute little scene, but who knows what would have happened, child? Who knows?
She needs to get it together and be able to talk to him about that. Because if you can't and you just want him to like magically guess, you guys are already doomed.
Yeah, because she's really living in a false sense of reality to think she can't talk to her friend until she
Yeah.
gets frustrated. She can't talk to a man that had his tongue down her throat, that and tell him how she expects him to behave. Girl, how are you functioning in life if you can't have conversations with people that are not always hunky dory? Just saying.
Yeah.
And you too old for this.
None of us can like magically ever assume and get it right the way someone else would expect us to behave without.
Mm-hmm.
And if you care about somebody, then you'll do them the benefit of letting them know directly, right? Like, hey,
Mm-hmm.
I really am bothered by how you behaved. And if you don't apologize, I don't think I like you anymore. But we all know that's not Charlie's strong suit. So,
And it's par for the course, girl. I'm pretty sure she's been
Mm-hmm.
in situations before. Maybe we'll learn. Perhaps there's a reason why she chooses to, move in this way. Who knows? But it's not a good look when because it really just allows them to further, be that you don't like in your life. And it's not cool to let people, disrespect you, because he disrespected everybody in that van, including the driver, the camera people, everybody who was privy to that conversation. He needs to apologize to. I don't know who said that. I think it was Charlie, maybe, but he needs to, because he was a mess. MESS. And furthermore, who smokes? Because when he came back to the Sprinter, I got drinks, I got cigarettes. Who smoked?
Austin did. I think Rodrigo.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Girl, he was throwing that car down like ta-da. Like, well, shoot, I wish I could have got me a drink or two on his dime.
I think a lot of them do. They just do it off camera. It's not, nobody really smokes on camera anymore, but a lot of them do.
Okay.
Housewives and stuff, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, look at Dorit.
Ooh, my girl. Wait till we get to there in 45 minutes, y'all. For everybody listening, watching, listening, come back at 8:30. We're gonna talk about these rich heifers of Beverly Hills. Don't forget. Ooh, well, that was the end of my notes. I think that's all I got for this episode. You have any summations or
Well,
let's see?
Craig did apologize, and
To who?
Sally Oh, never mind. That's the sneak peek. That's the sneak peek.
I
Sorry.
was about
No.
to say, what?
Sorry. I know. I'm like, whoops. I knew. I had a feeling I was gonna do that too. Anyway, yeah. Wait till you see what happens. I'm done.
Girl, can't wait for the finale next week, y'all. And just make
Yeah.
sure the notifications are on because you will know when we will put out this review, whether it's live or Memorex. Most likely it's gonna be live.
Yes.
Like we've been live all season. Ain't that nothing?
We are here. This is our hobby. We enjoy it. Well,
Okay.
Ray Ray all day is the way she puts out videos and the work she does. She's above like hobby. Like, she's above
Oh,
hobby.
just wait until May.
But we are here. We love you. We do love you. But
Yes, we do.
anyway. But
Works for everybody. Works for everybody.
yes, we appreciate you. We appreciate you listening. We appreciate your support.
That's
And
right.
thank you.
That's right. We do. Thank you for that. Now, y'all, before we go, let's find out where Erin is when she ain't talking ish with me.
You can catch me on Facebook, Psychic Aaron Boyd, on Instagram and Threads, Psychic_ELB. Hit me up in the DMs if you'd like to get a psychic reading. Otherwise, just friend me on social media.
And like I said, y'all, in 44 minutes, rich heifers of Beverly Hills. Now we're gonna take a break. We're gonna, do what we gotta do, get us something to eat, go to the bathroom, take a walk, do whatever. And we're gonna be back here for 8:30, y'all. So y'all have a cute little what's it called? Intermission?
Yes, an intermission.
Thank you. See y'all shortly. Bye. Ray, ray,